Hi guys and girls, Mark here from Sea Wild Earth, and today I'm going to potentially give you what could be one of the most important pieces of information as you set out on your photographic path. Let's get into it. Now, if you could say one thing, I'm going to show you a selection of images now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Check these out. Now, some of those images may not have appealed to you personally, and that's the whole point. Incidentally, that technique that I used, some people call it speed blur or motion blur. And while we're not going to go into that technique today, it is actually going to be the theme or the subject of a future video. I'm shooting this here today in the studio because outside is absolutely atrocious, but there is an important message here anyways. So let's get into it. Okay, now I'm sure there are some of you that are probably going to think, well, they're blurred, or they don't appeal to you because you can't see the action or the action that you interpret in that particular scene. And that's the whole thing. Photography is subjective. It's a creative art. Now, I teach photography. I do quite a number of courses here in Okinawa, where I'm based, and very often I get the question, but what should I shoot? And how is it I'm going to build a following if I'm a photographer, trying to build a brand, etc., etc. My golden piece of advice is you can see what is hot, what's trending, the kind of images that people are doing. Now, if those particular images or that style of imaging doesn't appeal to you, why shoot it? What you're trying to do is cater to the masses, whereas it should be the other way around. The absolute best way that you can build your photographic brand is to shoot you, is to shoot what it is that pleases your mind, what it is that allows you to express yourself creatively in as creative a way as possible. Now, that may mean that a whole batch of people are going to say, well, they don't get it, or they don't like it, or that you're going to be catering to a smaller group of people within an audience who may appreciate your work. And that is the whole thing about creating a brand, is that you should never shoot to please somebody else. There's only one person you need to please when you're taking photography, and that's you. And what I'm saying basically is that as people see your work, as you put it out there and as you share it and as it does the rounds in social media, eventually you're going to get a group of people that switch into your imaging and say, oh wow, I like this, and they start to follow you, and that is the start of your audience. Okay, so, and then they share it with other people who may share their tastes, and so on and so forth, and eventually your brand will build, and it will build in a way that allows you to be 100% confident and comfortable in what it is that you're shooting, knowing that your brand and that your audience is growing because people can see your vision. Never think that you need to cater to someone else's vision in order to be an accomplished photographer. Shoot always for you, because eventually what's going to happen someday, and it does happen even now at the moment with myself, is that I'll get people, they'll see the style of photography I do. If I'm maybe shooting a family, I've got my way of doing a family photo shoot, for example, but someone may come up to me and say, well, yeah, that's all lovely, but I want you to do it in this way or in this style. And if I'm not comfortable or knowledgeable in that style of photography or in that genre or in delivering the look that they want, I'll be honest with them and say, well, you're probably better off finding a photographer who's better suited to that, because I'm not comfortable shooting like that. If you're happy with the images that I create, then let me shoot in my way. And if not, then, you know, maybe the deal's off. And never be afraid to do that. Never be afraid to turn down work, because it means that you're going to have to try and extend your trials, as it were, in order to accomplish what it is that the client wants. And you're much better off keeping a client close by being honest with them and saying, with all due respect, you know, this is my style. What you're asking may be a little bit too much for me. I don't have the confidence or the real understanding of how I can do that. So rather than take your money, I would suggest that you look for a photographer who would better serve you in order to provide the look that you're looking for. And that way, I believe that that professional entity in client will have a much greater respect for you as a photographer. And they may even then in the future come back in order to ask you for work that they know that your style will accommodate. So it's all about thinking about how it is that photography can serve you in the way that you shoot it. Okay, like I said at the beginning, I'll always reiterate that point. Never shoot what you think people want to see, shoot what you want to see, and eventually your audience will come to you. Okay, now I know this is a very short video, but that is hopefully what I believe to be the best advice that I can give you or anybody starting out in photography. Shoot for yourself, don't shoot for anybody else. And the clients will come, the audience will build, and your brand eventually will find its audience, and everyone and everything will be happy. And so there you have it, folks. Hopefully that advice will be something that you can take with you as you start out on your photographic career, or if you are indeed new to photography. At this juncture, I'm going to love you and leave you. Got a whole lot of stuff I need to get on with administratively for the day. So all I can hope is that you do stay healthy, fit, well and happy. And if you do want to update as and when new content is available, simply click the little notifications button down below. And if you haven't already, please also subscribe. That helps in a great way. Now, unlike some other channels, what I actually do also is I use quite often the community feature of this channel. So if you do want to discuss anything beyond leaving comments below, simply go to the community tab just down below there, check it out, and you'll see posts that I've made before asking for feedback or just general discussions, and hopefully that will go to aid communication within the channel, within the viewers, and is also another way, incidentally, to help build your brand. If you are seen as someone who is communicative, someone who gives feedback, who takes the time to respond to their followers, that's always a bonus. Okay, so up until next time, folks, if you are going to go out and shoot for yourself. Don't shoot for anybody else. Do what makes you happy. Okay, and until that next time, I will love you and leave you. Bye-bye for now.